Hello Internet, welcome. Today we're going to update my website and add a video section to it because I've been putting off this for quite a while and we need to get done with it at some point. So join me in this quite chill video. Um, so right now we're going to this is like my actually published website. This is the version of it running here with fast reload. I'm using Astro. It's quite an old version, I think, like V1, which is like, uh, let's call it the production ready, but not like the fancy stuff that Astro V3 has. We're not gonna be worried with upgrading this to Astro V3 because this site is completely static and I don't do anything in it except for, I don't know, updating it like every once in a few months. And let's try to get to it and let's see if we can actually have some video sections somewhere here. So let's try and figure out how to do this nicely. So first of all, maybe we can try to actually open our my YouTube page and go to the channel. And maybe there's like a way to embed everything. And that way I don't need to care about almost nothing. YouTube embed channel. Embed videos and playlists. Yeah, so videos is easy. I'd really like to like embed playlists. Or like the latest videos playlist, basically. Um, so here we just have the share and embed code. Can we do that for the channel itself? Basic info, channel link. Doesn't look like I can do a lot about it. Popular videos. I wonder if I just have the popular videos, let's say, put right there at the top. And let's go back to the channel itself. Share. Share channel. Is it embeddable? No. Is this embeddable somehow? Probably not. Okay, so YouTube embed latest videos. So let's see. Channel ID, feed XML, get JSON. Okay, so this is done with yeah, this probably shouldn't work because I need jQuery. Should I bootstrap jQuery for that? I mean, I don't care. Let's try that. And let's see how it goes. So recent posts. Let's go back to where we actually want to place this. So I think below like the experience section, let's say. So after this one, full CV, socials. So it should be above socials, but below everything else. So let's go with H2 videos and then place this crappy thing there. So this is basically just getting JSON. And then it says source embed of the video. So that's just the recent video I see. Okay. So that's actually, we can do that without jQuery because we don't need that. We have our own like fetch here. So sure, okay, we can handle this. So const channel ID, and that would be of type string because we're nice. And let's copy our channel ID. It was somewhere around copy channel ID. Yep. Here. Awesome. And going back to this, we have our thingy here, which is YouTube what is it? It looked like an RSS feed. Yeah, feed. Channel ID, and this has the channel ID inside it. Yeah, I'm of course not like not doing anything special here. RSS to JSON. Okay, cool. So this is RSS feed. Oh, can I just have that? Is that a thing? If that would be a thing, that would be so nice. Probably not, but I'm being optimistic. Nope. If I go for XML, definitely works. So let's go with the Stack Overflow answer here, because apparently this is how you still do stuff in this world. You copy off of Stack Overflow, and then we need to encode URI component, and this is the one. Apparently request URL plus channel ID function data. Okay, so let's definitely copy this thing. And const query, and then we'll definitely like get things out of the way here. So that's the one. And then we have our channel ID here, and then we don't need this. This can go back to being a regular a regular string, not a template string. And here we have our function, and we pass it into oh, I see. So this is the get JSON thing from jQuery. So we don't need that crap. Okay, that's probably going to be nicer because we can just await fetch this. Okay, so I just want to say like fetch top level await is nice. And this JSON feed, it's actually fuck is going on here. And this is a response. And what we'd like to actually do with this response. So we need to actually extract the data. So Our data is JSON feed await JSON, which basically means we need to rename this to response. Don't worry about like extracting all of this, will become its own function in a minute once we stop prototyping. And what do we do with this? We take data.items, place 0. Okay, so 0 is the latest video, probably. So this is the videos, yeah. Transfer item list. Okay, cool. Probably like incorrect, but sure. And then we can actually map over these and get the actual link. So here we have an item, and then we extract item.link. So these are my links. Now we can actually just console log this and like see where we've gone, how far we've gone here. And if we go back here, that's quite nice. Like this is what we actually expected to see here, which is amazing. Okay, cool. So we can actually embed this shit. And now we can actually just do the thing, which is just to embed a regular YouTube video with any of these links, probably. Maybe we need to transform something here. So let's go with not short, but the video. I'm gonna mute everything just so we won't need to handle hearing this video. Chat replay this up of this premiere. And share. Embed. How does this look? So we have an iframe, which has its own width and height. We can play with that. Title, whatever we want. Frame border 0. Accelerometer. No, I'm not gonna allow accelerometer. Oh, it's actually important so people can actually like go full screen. So, all right. So our source is basically just this without this query param, which is like Google's way of like tracking everything in this world. So it's youtube.com/embed/video ID. And then we need like everything else here. So let's turn this into like a proper component because we've done enough. So latest videos. How do we do this? Let's go here and have our component. New Astro file. Yeah. Videos. And do we need anything special here? Just an unloaded list. Is it the list? Yeah, let's go with div, the most this is not, that's not a thing. We just go links map, right? Yep, we do. By the way, this is not React. This is just JSX, if I recall correctly. It's just supposed to just work. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm not sure. But like I do have React here, but this is not an interactive component per se. This is just pre-rendered every time this site is built, which means I need to basically update this somehow, like to republish this and republish the site every few days to make sure this like rebuilds correctly. And I can do that, and that's we can actually like invest a little bit more time in this. Okay, so we have our link, which is basically just URL type string, and now we can actually try to return something. And what do we return? So we'd like to return this thing that they said exists here, which is we copy this embed thing and then we edit everything away from it. So first of all, no tracking parameters because fuck those. And then we need to actually extract the ID and extract and then replace the YouTube embed thing. So const video ID equals split on v equals. Is that true? V equals. Yep, sure. This is not running on untrusted inputs. This is just running on fairly basic API, so we can just roll with this. And now we can go here and just embed this in. But in order for this to work, we need to actually have this. Oh, this is like terrible. Can I please get this like not in a terrible format? Please, please. So first of all, I don't need this thing yet, probably. And it says unreachable code. Why is that? Because it says returned and there is no thingy here. Okay, I need to get some auto formatting here working ASAP, but okay. Encrypted media, web share, encrypted media, clipboard write. Okay, clipboard write, so it should work. No autoplay, no thank you. And this one should now be another like JavaScript expression. And then we just delete the dollar, put the dollar. Should work, didn't work. That's a bummer. Okay, video ID. Awesome. And now we have our videos component, which is completely independent from everything else, does one fetch, maps over everything, puts everything in a div. We haven't done any like styling, so we can try now to look try to understand how it looks. So first of all, we don't need all of this. And do we need to import everything? Yeah, we need to do that. So yeah, import videos from at components videos. Astro, sure. And then let's place them just below the videos header. Okay. So apparently there we have it. Now we can do some styling, maybe have them like in a grid, and then that would be nicer. But like we've done the main thing, which is kind of nice. Let's try to like make this a little bit more nice looking, but this is already like functional. I can also probably add the social YouTube link here because, well, kind of useful. So let's edit this. So firstly, this can be smaller, maybe. Let's try that. So let's divide everything by approximately, I don't know, 3/4. So let's like do 1.75 times 560. That's 420. Awesome. And again here for the height. So that's 315 times 0.575, 236. That's a bummer. That's not an even number, but sure. Was it? Shit. 315, 236. 236 point something. Yep. Does this work? Can it like parse floats? Okay, awesome. And now let's make this class equals grid. Then grid calls gonna be, well, depends on the screen. So if the screen is small, so this is so it's gonna be grid call. Wait, I'm not sure if like if smaller means up to. Yeah, that's below. Okay, so by default, let's put this grid calls 1 and space 2, space y2. Okay, that's a little bit nicer. And if our screen is above medium, I think, MD, is it MD? LG. What are I'm sure that they're like Tailwind, media, query, customizing screens, MD. Yeah, it wasn't. Okay, so anything above medium, let's go with grid calls 3. And then let's try to play with this. Nothing. And probably I need to do something like grab this in a div and then have this be some kind of and this class needs to do something, right? So this is also like grid. Not sure. Justify item center. Okay, so first of all, like justify center looks like a good thing that I just would want anyway. But any one of these, they need to do something, right? It says grid because I never remember anything like that. Complete guide to grid, sure. I don't need the complete guide, I need just a guide. Okay, so first of all, apparently container is just a good thing to write here. Very cool. And then grid. By the way, let's limit this to like 6. I think there's no need for all of them. So this is an array. Let's maybe just call that an array here, and then that's a string array. Yep, and let's say const links to, because I'm lazy, that's gonna be links slice. Sure, let's go with 6. no more than 6. Then let's use links 2. Okay, so 6 videos is like enough. And maybe let's do this with Flex because this is not a lot of stuff, but maybe also I should learn how to use Grid at some point. Grid layout. Okay, MDN is probably like a nice thing to do here. So the wrapper, display grid, and then it says template columns 3 repeat 3. Okay, so if we actually introspect into this class, please let me just see what's the definition of these Tailwind aliases. Please, please. Container. It's not MDN. Last name. So what are the options here? So grid flow, grid auto rows, Tailwind grid. Maybe that's what I'd actually want to do. Okay, so the grid calls n should just create grids with n equally sized columns. And here we have our grid calls, let's say 3, just for the sake of making sure this works. Okay, so are we not above medium there? That's why everything sucked. Then this media query didn't change. Or maybe it did. Grid calls. Okay, so this one applies. So why the hell is this not working? Okay, this is working, just not very good at actually like doing this stuff. And if we go with medium, then everything breaks. This does not work. LG. So I'm starting to think I might need to upgrade this Tailwind component, like this Tailwind library, because it might be old. And then things would work as I'd expect them to work. Let's see, Tailwind. No, not this one. Tailwind 3. Oh, no, so it's kind of new. I'm confused and I just won't meddle with this. Let's just keep 6 videos, 2 columns, and mobile users. Sorry. By the way, I'm doing this because this is like not an important project. It's just like a small blog. And space. Let's go with also space x2. So why is this overlapping? This is not good. No grid here. Just use the iframe. And the iframe is definitely not behaving as we'd want it to actually behave. This is not needed. And maybe let's just go with no justifying through the center. And here we have no container. Grid calls, space. Let's go with, instead of space, let's go with gap 4. Okay, so this actually looks a little bit better. Now space x2. No. mx2 here. Class m2. Just x. And let's go with 8. Gap 4. Well, welcome to the land of debugging magic incantations of Tailwind. How bad does this look? Actually, if we squish it, kind of bad, and then it stops because that's the max width. So maybe we can actually like make this even smaller. Let's go with 360 and auto. Okay, that's not good. What's the actual width on this? Is it actually respecting anything that we do? So this iframe, where is it? What's the actual width? 360, 150. Okay, so it's actually listening. So this one is not good. 215, sure. And okay, so we need to do something with like smaller screens. But apart from that, the other things like looks okay ish. So for smaller screens, is there like an inverse media query? Let's see. I think there is, but I'm not sure. Below screen size. Responsive design, sure. Then this is all like going with medium crap. So we need to go with crawl 1 here, and then anything above small. Oh, max small. Oh, okay, cool. So this is the one, and then max, and then we can go with red calls 1. Now let's refresh this, and yay! Almost perfect. Like kind of wonky, but still works. How do we solve this? We don't actually care. So I think this is like more than enough to actually like make things work. Awesome. So we have some videos. Let's have a link to the channel maybe, and then add the social icon as well. But this is working. Like I'm happy. Let's just call this all links. And then these are just the links. This is not actually true. This is only the last 12, but I don't want to handle more than 6 in the website. I think that's enough. And let's try to understand what else can we do here. So back to the index. Here we have our videos, and we can have a paragraph which says, not some of my favorites. These are here are the latest ones. Awesome. And the social icons, let's go with the socials, and then what else do we have here? Is this like socials, social filter active. And here we can actually maybe socials, YouTube. Where's the YouTube? No YouTube? God damn it. Okay. And href. Do we still have our YouTube channel? That's a feed, that's not good. That's the one. And link title, author on YouTube. Yep, active. Did it just like magically work? Do I have the icons here? I do have the icons here. Okay, nice. Maybe let's actually put it even higher on the list because it's actually one of the more, let's say, social ones. So let's go with that. Right after mail, I think. Definitely before the LinkedIn. And is this the actual one? Yes, it is the actual one. Okay, cool. So that's the link. And we can also have here, is there a link button? Yeah. If that's the actual channel, I'd be surprised. Yeah. Didn't think so. Classic. And how does it look? More videos on my channel. So I don't like this underline thing, decorated dash thing. But I do need this to work somehow. So here are the latest ones. For a while now. Let's maybe try to duplicate this. This is the channel. You can find them here. Here are the latest ones. Does this look okay? All of them in my channel. Yeah, I don't think I need to declare the social links. I think it's kind of obvious, but maybe like accessibility wise, I should keep it. Yeah, not important. Yeah, let's just ignore everything. I think this P is somewhere. What was this P? Closing tag matches nothing. Everything breaks now. Do I have another closing tag that doesn't do anything? Or, yeah, apparently I do. Okay, so there we have it. A bit more, I don't know, a thing. It just did a thing. And we can now rest in peace. I'll just push this to main. So yeah, git add everything, git commit, and that's feature add video section. And we can also, maybe before we actually go forward, can we do a cron deployment? Oh shit. So it's not a cron, I cannot do it like easily because it's actually not deployed through GitHub Actions. It's deployed through Cloudflare. That's gonna suck a little bit, but we can try and like make things work. So run Astro log, and we have just git remote. That's the one. So all branches. Did it not push? Ah, I didn't push. I see. Yep. And create PR. And let's deploy that. Merge. And now let's actually think of how do we deploy this correctly. I'm just logging in off the screen. In a minute this will come back here. Yeah. So the thing that we can do, and might be like a good idea, is to move the deployments to GitHub, because now we could actually then we'd be able to run some cron deployments. Anyhow, we'd look at our sites, no, sorry, at the pages project, and we'd look at Sukolan. We'd see it's already deployed. So if we go to the site, it would have a video section. If only things would work. Is it not deployed? Is it deployed? Sukolan blog. Ah, it's still in progress. I see. Okay, so Yarn is installing and things are taking time and we have no patience. Let's actually let's develop the GitHub Actions thing quickly. So Cloudflare pages GitHub Actions, which I think now is just the Wrangler action, if I recall correctly. Is this deploy direct upload with Wrangler? This is not deprecated. I'm pretty sure one of them is deprecated. Action. Wrangler action. Yeah, that's the one that's actually live and maintained. Okay, so we can view it at the marketplace and try to use it. So deploy. Quite easy, as you can see. Just need the API token and maybe a little bit more for pages. Pages. Deploy a site with pages. Yep. Production and preview. So let's actually try to make this work. So new file dot GitHub workflows deploy YAML. Paste everything on push to, well, project name. So this is not a good thing. We need our actual project name. I think it's just Sukolan, if I recall correctly. The project is, yeah, Sukolan. And yeah, by the way, the site should be live. videos. Yay! Okay, so it's working. And now when we refresh this, then still working. And by the way, this is like statically deployed. That means the URLs are baked into the HTML here. We don't have any kind of like squishing of everything, and like we don't have any, we have nothing fancy here. If we actually inspect this and we go here, there is no like JavaScript around this. This is just plain old dumb HTML, except for the fact that it's an iframe, and then YouTube like does some magic stuff with like the internals here, but we don't care about that so much. Anyhow, this looks good. Like this actually up to like there is like here the limbo zone between this area and this area when they overlap, but yeah, I can live with that. Let's go with running our deployments from our end instead of from their automation Git hooks. So settings. Oh, they have build caching beta. That's nice. Let's see. How do I disconnect this? Deployments. How do I edit? View details, build setting, header, redirect, manage deployment. No. Settings, build and deployment. Configure the, okay. So enable automatic production deployment. Nope. Yeah, no automatic production deployments. And then also no preview deployments because we don't need them. So none. This is not a site that needs preview deployments. Anyhow, now that we've disabled our get hooks and we just need to enable this one. So we need our API token and account ID. So account ID is not an issue. It's not a secret, not really. It's right there in the top corner. So we can add that to our GitHub. Actions, general, no, secrets. Actions. And here, new secret, that's the one. Cloudflare account ID. Is this how they want that to look like? Cloudflare account ID. Yep. And API token. So this one I'd need to somehow find where it is, where it sits. So firstly, let's add this one because we know it should be here. And another secret, which is the Cloudflare API token. And this one I'd need to paste without you seeing. Sorry about that. Account home, manage account. Not even sure where this would be. My profile, maybe. Yeah, API tokens. And create token. So pages, no pages. Okay, so this page should stay here, and we'd add, except for like the pasting of the secret thing, let's try to actually like research how to do this correctly. So here they probably have a guide on how to make this work. So we need probably like permissions for Wrangler. So let's try that. So edit Cloudflare workers. And pages are here, maybe? Yeah, so pages are here. Oh, actually, let's go back and try to create a token. which has like custom, then we'd say, okay, so this is a personal site and publish token GitHub actions. That's a nice long descriptive name. Permissions. Account, pages, Outlier pages. Select, edit. Continue. Create token. Copy this one and let's paste it in. Awesome. So we have our secrets ready in the repository, and we can go back to here. So we have everything set up. As far as I know, project is set up correctly. And I think that's it. We just need to say pages deploy, and that should work on push. I really want to have this like on push branches main. Just the main, just main. I don't want to push everything else, anything else. What else do we have here? Do we need anything else from this site? Do we need to check out? Is it okay? So checkout v4 is the latest one, if I recall correctly. But let's go on. Wrangler deploy authentication. Okay, so we need to actually, before deploying, we need to build everything. So uses I think setup node 20, and then run definitely not npm name install dependencies. It's going to be yarn install frozen block file, then build, run yarn build, and here we need to say where is the directory. So pages. Let's go here and actually see what parameters it accepts. So dist pages command. Not sure this would be easy, so let's just go with npx wrangler at latest pages deploy help. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, so deploy a directory, and this is the position of the arg. Okay, so apparently project name, and then probably dist, because when we build stuff here, if we go with yarn build, Astro build, it's in the dist directory, right? npx serve dist. Yep. Okay. So definitely dist is the correct directory. So we can just have this npx pages deploy with everything set up. No post commands, no package manager, nothing fancy. Do we need anything else? I believe we can try to like commit this into a main and like see how it goes. So git create branch CI. Feed CI, deploy with GitHub Actions. And back to our repo pull request and merge. And now we should have an action running, which is the deployment. Starting job. And while this is running, by the way, setup node v2, actually, now that I think of it, sounds a little bit old. Setup node v4. Yeah, we're gonna bump that. And also maybe node version 20 like this, just to be sure everything doesn't like completely fail. But anyhow, this, if this has deployed successfully on the first run, I'd be surprised, but apparently, yeah. But is this also like deployed globally? If I now actually run this, let's go back to our dashboard, workers and pages. This went surprisingly smooth. Like I'm a little bit suspicious how smooth that went. Deployment paused. So assets uploaded. That's the latest one. Status from 1 minute ago. Awesome. So this works. So it's not really the deployments are not paused. There are okay. We can actually also deploy on push as well as with the cron. But do we want to do that? Probably not, because we actually want this to be, yeah, okay. Anyhow, this is good. And now the only thing that I want to also do is on schedule. And then we say cron and every day at midnight. Awesome. That's exactly what I want. And we can actually run this. So this is another feature, which is for CI. And here we have run deployments. And let's move this to another branch, which is cron deployments and push. All right. So this should now also deploy, but this won't change the content, of course, because the content does not really depend on the YAML, but that's not nothing to be worried about. But what we have now is basically we have our production pipeline running every day at midnight and on every push. So yeah, I think this should just basically now work for not eternity, but a few days minus eternity, minus a few days. Your working directory is not a Git repo. Is a Git repo and has uncommitted changes. Yeah, I don't care. Okay, so we have now set up a video section on the website, which probably should just be now up to date every day, which is nice because that means I don't need to think about it and it would be like sort of okay. I might be able to maybe find a better playlist than latest, something like most popular or something like that. But um, yeah, we've done a little bit of front end, a little bit of like DevOps, and we can now all go to sleep or something. So hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye.